Holy crap, boys. I just got back from John Wick Chapter 4. Whoo! Damn! Wow, I'm not gonna put any like gameplay or movie scenes or anything in front of this video because I just gotta jump straight into my thoughts. I'm not writing anything out for it either. That movie was so badass. The first 15 minutes are a little but they're setting up the rest of the movie, so just bear with it. And it's not terrible. It's just kind of but the movie knows exactly what you came there for, and it jumps into it fast. When the action starts, it feels like it just doesn't stop for the entire movie. It was so good. Like, boys, way too good. Like, it makes me want to shoot a gun out of a car doing a 180 around the Arc de Triomphe so bad. Like, that's how badass it was. It was so good. And they have a bunch of good references back to the originals, harkening back. But not in a bad way. Actually, in really fun, playful ways. There's like this really cute dog scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but you'll know what I'm talking about. It's towards the end of the movie, maybe like 2/3 into the movie. But essentially, all I will say is that John Wick saves a dog. But that's all I'm going to say. The context behind it, I will not bring up. This will be spoiler free because my God, y'all have to go see it. That is a cool movie that is totally worth like 2.5, 3 hours of your time. Really badass movie. But a lot of callbacks to the first one, the second one. Obviously, it's finishing the story of the third one that's set up like, oh, damn, he's in trouble again and he has to clear his name again. Well, I'm not going to get into spoilers because, damn, they had balls with this movie. They made some decisions that without... God, I can't really say that or else everybody will kind of know what I'm kind of getting to, but if I say it too much. But unfortunately, I don't think we will be getting a movie after this one. It's fairly clear that we won't be, but don't overthink me saying that. You need to go watch it for yourself. I bought this ticket like 2 weeks ago. So worth it. So worth my time. It wasn't even funny. Because the movie knows what you're there for. You're there for high octane, high speed, crazy choreographed action with, some humor thrown into the mix. And I gotta say, the kills in this movie, I don't think a single person dies the same way as another throughout the entire movie. And almost every single fight scene, which there are a ton, I'm pretty sure there's one really unique death that will probably make you laugh. At least my theater laughed. There was at least every single action scene. I want to say there was 1 to 3 like gag kills, like funny kills, and they just landed perfectly. Like they do make you laugh. They bring out like if you're sick and sadistic like me, and you want to see people get killed in the craziest ways. This movie will do that. And he basically in this one uses like the charger from the trailer as a weapon, and it was bottom line good ass movie. So well done. Oh man. The story, it's just enough to get you through it as usual. But I would say that the new characters that they introduced, not like that's going to be a spoiler because they have to. He kills everybody in the previous movies. If they wanted to make a movie fully with Donnie Yen, I believe he was in this. Yeah, I believe that's correct. The guy that played Ip Man. I mean, Ip Man was in the movie, bruh. Come on, y'all already know that man is, when it comes to action, like so killer. Bill Skarsgård played an excellent villain. Man, he sells you. At first, you're like, okay, rich white guy. He's French, I believe. And he's higher in the food chain. Typical baddie. But as time progresses, honestly, he becomes a killer bad guy. I can't even lie. Like he's actually nuts with it. Lance Reddick, this was his final outing in John Wick. But as I believe this will be the final movie in the franchise, may he rest in peace. Because he also did a really good job. He wasn't in it too much, but they honored him a pretty decent way. But yeah, obviously Keanu Reeves blew me away as per usual. He in a similarity contest between him and Tom Cruise, he is pretty damn near up there with wanting to learn new skills, and it shows. Like, he does. I would say he had to have done most of the stunts in this movie, aside from the obvious, oh yeah, he didn't do that. But that's just because, CGI is a thing. Not that they use too much of it at all. In fact, I would say that they used CGI maybe 15% of this movie, maybe for like the blood and the gunshots. But other than that, I wouldn't know what else they'd use it for. Not a whole lot besides a couple of scenes of him getting like thrown out of buildings and stuff, which was awesome. But man, he eats it in this one. By the end of it, you're like, how is he not dead? It's insane. But really good movie, really killer. I'm just coming off the high of it. I felt like my brain was just absolutely fried coming out of there because it was so much fun. But like I said, the movie knows what you're there for. You're there for fun. You're there for action, and you're there for really cool, creative, like cinematography, choreography. All that stuff. Weaponography. I mean, whatever you want to call that. Because it's honestly its own like art form now. It was so cool. Highly recommend going out seeing it. I would totally discuss spoilers and talk about it more, but I'm not going to do that considering I think it just came out today, and I think I had the first showing. I'm pretty sure. Or it was the second showing. I'm not too sure. Either or. I'm still coming off the high, and I just had to pump out this video because, man, I was so excited coming home, and I just needed to, like, talk out loud about it because it was so cool. And I went alone, so I don't have anybody to kind of like, oh dude, that was so cool, like after the movie. But there were definitely a few really cool scenes regarding a certain dog who's a recurrent character throughout the movie. And that dog is well trained because, man, that might have been the best acting dog I've ever seen in my life. That dog killed it. Now that I think of it, nobody really did a bad job. Everybody did a really good job. Keanu Reeves, he was kind of your silent protagonist, few words spoken, when needed. And it was always just a fun, like, badass delivery, so you're gonna love it. Donnie Yen killed it. Every scene he was in, God, dude. I don't know how he does it, but every action movie I've ever seen him in, Ip Man, Star Wars, Rogue One, he shines in this one, like, big time. Shamir Anderson, he was also kind of a big character in this one. He played the Tracker, or Mr. Nobody, whichever one you want to go with. He did a fantastic job too. I think it was his character that lacked the depth, though. I don't think they fully fleshed him out, like what was his purpose, aside from tracking and, being extremely well versed in his weaponry, because he killed it too. But I don't think his character was given enough depth. But like I said, the movie knows what you're there for. They want you to have a good time. They want you to get super crazy and get your blood boiling with everything that's going on. And it did a fantastic job, and it totally nailed it. Great movie. Yet again, another impossible task, and John Wick completed it. That's all I'm going to say. But what were the repercussions? And that's what you'll have to go find out for yourself. Highly recommend the movie. I don't do a scale, but if I were to do a scale, 5 being average, I would totally give this like an 8, maybe an 8.5, like solid. Because there's some pacing issues in the beginning, but it's like the first 10-15 minutes, you're just going to be like, okay, I don't really care. I want to pick up exactly where we left off with chapter 3. And it does and it doesn't do that, but it does it just enough to where you're like, okay, I get the general gist. I just would have liked them to explain how he was in hiding so long, to heal up after being thrown off of a roof. But they don't really do that. But I mean, it's John Wick. He's going to do it. He's going to get back on his feet. And he does. And this movie shines. I don't know who the action choreographers are in this movie, and I don't know who the set designers are or the people that select which weapons are going to be in the film, but wow, chef's kiss. They were the highlight of the movie because everywhere that he went in the movie, beautiful, well known for the most part, and just beautiful overall. The cinematography is so well shot, in my opinion. The action scenes were very fluid, very clear. Like, you knew exactly what was going on at almost every single second. And man, I'm trying to think of anything else I could say. This movie is exactly made for its audience, and that's just turn your brain off, have a good time, and just watch people kill the shit out of each other. Very well done. It's too bad I don't think we'll be getting another one, but that's okay. I'm cool with 4 movies. Great stuff. Go watch it. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up. I know I didn't throw any visuals or action scenes from the previous movies on here. I apologize. I just wanted to really talk about this movie as quick as I could because I'm finally on the come down, when you watch a really good movie and you're like, oh, and then you slowly, you're like, okay, now we're at a chill level. That's kind of where I'm at. And so having finished it not only half an hour ago as of making this, I just felt like everything that just happened is still fresh in the brain. So yeah, definitely would recommend it. It's awesome. It just continues the cool story, and I think it finishes it. And when it comes to finishing this saga, they did a great job, in my opinion. They really, they nailed it. It's not like it was a super story-rich, saga anyway, but they still somehow landed a very, touching, bittersweet ending. So, yeah, definitely awesome. Go watch it. That's going to be all. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.